It has taken me 15 years to get round to watching the Ugly Betty first episode. And I have to say, I'm kind of ashamed of that fact because I feel like it's something that I probably would have loved at the time when it came out. This was actually released around about the same year as the film Devil Wears Prada. They're completely different. But the fact is, it's about somebody entering the industry where fashion and appearance are very important and going through all kinds of changes. That's kind of the main similarity, and I loved that film. So why didn't I jump on the bandwagon with this? Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer. But part of me is kind of glad that I waited to watch it until now because I am a big fan of Superstore, the TV show, and America Ferrera plays the protagonist, or one of the protagonists, Amy, in that. So because of that and my love of that show and that character, I was encouraged to watch this. So I now just have a little bit more of a relationship with the actress's work, and it makes me appreciate this all the more. And it's unnerving how much she has not changed in 15 years, like in terms of youthfulness. This was released, of course, in 2007. The pilot is directed by Richard Shepard, written by Silvio Horta, and stars America Ferrera as our protagonist, Betty Suarez. And I think maybe one of the reasons why I didn't watch this initially was because I didn't really like the name Ugly Betty. It just sounded really nasty and offensive, but it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. One thing I learned about Betty really quickly is that she's anything but ugly. She's very hard-working, she's very dedicated to her family, she, will put the work in to make sure she can financially contribute to her family. And she also seems to have a good personality where she's not going to be judging other people in a negative way. But physically, on the outside, she is not somebody who you would expect to work in fashion or for a magazine that is primarily fashion focused and focused on the image and appearance. And she, to be honest, when I try and describe the things about her that make her ugly, if you like, I can't, because I don't think she's ugly. I just think she's maybe plain, in a way. She wears glasses, which obviously in that industry is not always that attractive. She has braces. I think certainly the braces are what make it stand out. And her fashion sense is interesting. And it starts off with us seeing her trying to get an interview, or she had an interview with a certain fashion magazine, and as soon as they took one look at her, they decided to say the position had already been filled, before even getting a chance to know her. Then out of the blue, she receives a phone call from a different magazine within the same building, and is offered the job of the assistant to the company owner's son. And obviously she takes this job, and she realizes very quickly that people are going to make fun of her, and there are some people she works with whom she builds up a decent rapport, but at the same time there are a lot of people she works with who kind of look at her as if to say, what on earth are you doing here? And she has some conflict with her boss. Will she be able to stick it out? Will she be able to get through this job without quitting because of the pressure that she's facing? In this first episode, it's 40 minutes, I think, give or take. I think it's a brilliant introduction to Betty, and what I really liked about this first episode is that it didn't waste time. Yes, we get a little bit of time setting up to find out that there are certain hardships in her life and that her family face, but then it kind of instantly says, okay, well, that's true, but here is a job. This is the job, this is what it entails, these are the problems you will face at work. Maybe certain other programs that are kind of like this would definitely wait until the very end of the episode to give her the job, and suddenly it's like, oh, everything's changing for her, how fantastic, she's been hired in spite of her appearance. But no, that's not the case. It gets straight to the point, and I was really pleased with that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought America Ferrera's performance was fantastic. Needless to say, this show went on for quite a while and did very well for itself, and based on this first episode, I can absolutely see why. I think the casting of Ugly Betty was very important. I think if they'd cast the wrong actor for the role, it could have been, it could not have worked in some ways. It might not have done. For me, it's very much about Ugly Betty as a character, and it works really well. There were some things in this first episode that I wasn't that bothered about. For example, her relationship with her boyfriend. I won't say any more about that because I don't want to spoil it. But I feel like that was maybe unnecessary for the first episode. Yes, it showed us that she was going through problems in her personal life, but at the same time, I feel like maybe they could have held that off for a couple of episodes. I'm sure it will crop up again. With regards to what I expect from the rest of the season and the rest of the show, I mean, I have seen, it's a 15-year-old show. I have seen pictures from later episodes and later seasons, certainly where she doesn't appear to have braces, where she appears to be more fashionably inclined. So I feel like Becki goes on a journey of discovery in that regard. I'm just really hoping that she doesn't change who she is because of peer pressure and because society says she should. I really hope that any changes she goes through are because she wants to, not because she feels like she should. Will I keep watching it? I think I will. There are a lot of shows at the moment that I'm kind of dipping in and out of, watching odd episodes here and there. This is probably going to be one of them. I don't feel like I want to binge watch it. Not at the moment. I'm not completely in love with the characters yet. But I think maybe if I watch a couple of episodes back to back, I may very well fall in love with it and actually want to stick with it as my current show. Because at the moment, I'm not watching any particular show. I'm not binge watching anything. As I said, I am just kind of going back and forth between a few different shows because nothing seems to stick that much. This certainly has potential. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her nephew. Her nephew in this has a great personality, and I think they could do a lot of great things with that character, so I'm really keen to see what happens with him as the seasons progress. So it may have taken me 15 years to watch it, but I honestly think that watching Ugly Betty was definitely worth the wait. I'm glad I waited until after watching Superstore because it gives me that little bit of relationship with America Ferrera with regards to being able to see how her acting has progressed over the years. But actually, quite frankly, even though her performances in Superstore are amazing, I think the quality existed all the way back here with Ugly Betty. Definitely enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. Not perfect, as I said, with regards to the relationship and things, but I'm really looking forward to seeing where this show goes.